Ahoy, hoy, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the O Show. I'm O, and I'm here for your amusement. So I actually meant to do this video a few weeks ago, back when kids went to school, because summertime is over for them. They got to return back to school. We're still within, I guess, summer days, even though it has been feeling better outside. It's nice and cool. But yeah. One of my favorite movies watching was Tiny Toon Adventures, How I Spent My Vacation. Which, I'm pretty sure, was this movie not called Summer Vacation? I think I read somewhere that it was supposed to be How I Spent My Summer Vacation. I remember hearing that. But then looking at it going, wait, where did the word summer go? So I'm not crazy, because Warner Brothers was going to do it, but I guess it looked too long on the box or something, so they changed it. But someone used to say Summer Vacation. I'm just saying. Or this is one of those like Mandela effects that I'm having. So, Tiny Toon Adventures, you guys, is a Warner Brother cartoon that came out back in 1990. It lasted 3 seasons. It got canceled in 1992 because they wanted to make Animaniacs. And I was like, what the fuck is an Animaniac? And it's so funny because when I learned that, I was like, what? They canceled Tiny Toons for this? So my brother actually liked Animaniacs. He would come over wanting to watch it, and I would just protest and just leave the room for 30 minutes because I was like, I'm not watching that cartoon because they canceled Tiny Toons. And then behind his back, I would watch it, and it was so funny. And I was like, damn. All right. I surrender. Like, I'll watch it. But yeah, I love Tiny Toons. And because I love Warner Bros. I love the whole Bugs Bunny and just all the Looney Tunes growing up. So when I heard there was like a younger version, I was like, well, you know, Looney Tunes goes back to like, what, 30s, 40s, 50s? I don't know when they started. But now I was like, oh, well, I get to see a new generation of these tunes as their kids. And also, does anyone remember this sticker book? There used to be a sticker book that you could buy. And then just like now with Pokemon cards and I don't know what else kids be collecting. But back in the day, you could go to a grocery store and see these trading cards. But they were actually stickers. But what you did was you had to find all the fucking stickers. And then you just put them in the book. It'll tell you like, okay, now this picture put sticker 6. This picture put sticker 12. And so on. And it used to just frustrate me because I would go to different stores thinking I was slick. And I would get so many duplicates. I mean, the packs weren't that much money, but still, at the same time, could have bought a bag of chips if I knew that was going to contain stickers I already had. Anyway, this movie, right, came out. And I don't remember if I knew this at the time, but I didn't realize this is like one of the first straight to VHS movie releases for like an animated movie, right? Like new, you know, not like Disney or anything. They went to like theaters, but I guess it was like one of the highest selling VHSs that year. So that's pretty cool. Animaniacs can't say that. So in the movie, we have the Toons, right? They're all at the Acme University. That's the school they go to, and it's almost 3 o'clock. They're looking at the clock, and they sing a song, wishing for the clock to strike 3, right? A fun fact, too. So if you are familiar with this cartoon, Montana Max is shown in the beginning of this movie, and he is kind of singing along with everyone else. But he is the only one who is not really given a speaking part. Like one of the main loons in this cartoon, which is really weird. I don't know the story behind that, but he was voiced by Danny Cooksey. And if you're not familiar with Danny Cooksey, he was Sam from Different Strokes. He did a lot of other things, kind of like Salute Your Shorts, where you play Butnick. But yeah, he doesn't have a speaking role in this, so it's really weird. The movie is supposedly taking place within like 3-4 week period, right? And it's really weird because when you watch it, some things look like they're happening in one day, but it's chopped up and, you know, put in between other things. So the timing used to always just drive me crazy because some things look like it just happened in one day, and I'll get to certain characters with that. But yeah, apparently for some people, they're telling their like 3-week experience. So probably the easiest way to talk about this movie is just to focus on certain characters and like what they're dealing with, right? So the first main storyline of this movie revolves around Plucky Duck and Hampton J. Pig, right? Now Plucky, I'm pretty sure is probably everyone's favorite. He was my favorite. I loved him. I really love those young Plucky Duck cartoons where he's a baby in a diaper and he's flushing everything down the toilet. And he's always saying this. Toilet paint will go down the hole. Toilet paint will go down the hole. Plucky's like, so Hampton, what are we going to do this summer? And Hampton's like, look, me and my family are going to go to Happy World Land. And apparently Happy World Land is like Plucky's favorite place to go. I don't think he's ever been there, but he's familiar with it. So he's like, oh my God, I want to go too. But, the family doesn't pick up on that first. So we finally see, I think this is probably the only time you see his family. So you got Hampton and his mom and dad. I forgot who voices the dad, but I know the mom is played by Edie McClurg. And we got his Uncle Stinky, this big fat pig in the back that sweats so much. So Plucky's devastated. He's like, oh my God, my friend's going to Happy World Land. I'm just stuck at home. So he's doing everything he can to try to get their attention, which he finally does by like lifting his leg on the side of the highway. And they're like, oh, Plucky, you want to go too? And Hampton's family is so crazy. No one's like, how are you like 100 miles away from your house? So yes, they're on their way to Happy World Land. Hampton's family's just doing the most. So they're singing like not 100 bottles of beer on the wall, but they're singing 100 bottles of non-alcoholic beer on the wall. Which is always funny because I actually got to witness, because I watched that show every day. Even when I was at school or on my way to school. I think I was on my way to school when it aired in the afternoons, but I had my VCR set to record it. But it's just funny when you hear the non-alcoholic beer song, because they had that episode where Buster, Plucky, and Hampton are drinking that one bottle of beer and then they die in the end. Oh my gosh. So yes, anyway, they're playing. Now you used to play a game in the car where you say, okay, I see a red car, or what is it, like a buggy, a Volkswagen bug driving down the street, and then you get to punch someone if you see it or whatever. But no, their game is just spot the car. Like, there's a car, there's a car, there's a car, and they just think it's hilarious. And Plucky's like, what the hell's wrong with these people? They go to a drive-in just for water. They don't order no food because they bring their own food, which at the time I understood. Whenever we went to Mississippi or Oklahoma, we always packed sandwiches for we packed so many sandwiches that always last us like 4 days, but we only ate like half of them in the car. You always had leftovers for people when we actually got to my aunt's place. But y'all, in this movie, they're eating mayo, cream cheese on white, right? I think that's the sandwich they're eating. And I do have to admit, I may have tried that sandwich as a kid. I put the mayo on it. I cut up some cream cheese. And I ate that sandwich. And it wasn't that great. It's not a sandwich that I visited it again. I visited it again. Yeah. Obviously, it's there for a gag, but I mean, I'm like, oh, I got that stuff in the fridge. Like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. They stop at a gas station to fuel up, but instead of fueling up, they just put on these haz suits, and then they go and clean the washrooms. They scrub the washrooms clean to get back in the car, and that's their stop at the gas station. So stupid. One of the funniest things going on in this movie is that Hampton's father picks up this hitchhiker. And this hitchhiker he looks like a serial killer, but they don't pick up on none of this. Even the fact that the radio station even says like, hey, there's this murderer out. He's wearing this. He's wearing that. He looks like this. He's very dangerous. He has these red shoes on. And like Plucky's the only one who notices like, it's fucking hell. And then they're like, well, he hates pork. And Plucky's like, oh, Jesus, we're in a car full of pork. But the guy's like, I also hate ducks. And so he's just literally just trying to kill Plucky the whole time. And no one hears him screaming. Oh my gosh. So they eventually drop this man off somewhere. And they still don't realize that they were almost in danger. Or they were in danger. But I mean, he didn't care about them at the time. Oh gosh. And fun fact too. This killer was also in one of those young Plucky cartoons where Plucky's in an elevator and he's hitting the buttons, and then this guy comes in. It's the same dude, and he's like, "No, these are my buttons." Like,
number one who?
My elevator, not your elevator. My elevator.
Let go, kid.
I push the button. No, you push the button. I push the button.
Let go!
It's my turn. It's not your turn. It's my turn.
so the family finally makes it to Happy World Land, right? It's already a trip from hell. And so they get there, they go through the entrance. The first ride they encounter is this like monorail called the Tooth Fairy. And so the Tooth Fairy takes them around the park. And as they go around the park, Plucky is just pointing out every awesome ride. Like, I just love these rides.
Look, Hampton, it's the legendary Happy Go Pukey ride. Join the Happy Crasher. Look, Henny, there's Slap Happy Fun. Belt up, everyone. Check this out, the bullet train to heck.
So then when the monorail comes back to the stations, Plucky's like, all right, now what ride are we going to ride first? And the dad's like, oh, we don't want to overdo it, Plucky. Like, we got to go. We're leaving. We're going home. Like, this is just to let us know what we're looking forward to the next time we come to this, to this park. Plucky's like, you gotta be kidding me. You had that friend that you would just go to their house. They're just doing everything like ass backwards. And you're like, what is going on with this family? Like, I totally get it. I feel like I've been there. Like, wait, what? I've gone places with people and you think something's going to happen and it doesn't. And you're like, wait, so we just came all this way for this, but not that? So they made the trip all the way home, and now he's home, but Plucky is still trapped with Hampton's family because now they have to sit through all the pictures they took.
There's that nice young man we met.
No!
Did you give him our address?
No, Mom, I gave him Pluckies. What?
The next big story that's happening in this movie is Buster Bunny and Babs Bunny. No relation. Right? So Babs just wants to just lay out in the sun all summer and get a tan. Buster, on the other hand, has this water gun that he fills with ice cold water and just wants to squirt Babs like all summer. So they get into this water fight, and there's a thing where like Babs floods the town, which drives me crazy because she floods the town, but then Buster does the same thing, but then the town is dry again until he does it. You don't see no one else panicking or drowning or fleeing their homes, but it's a cartoon, so like whatever. That always drove me crazy. And then there was this dog, Byron, who was like this basset hound that's just always sleeping. He kind of gets caught up in their mess. So anyway, their story is, since they caused this flood, they end up going downstream away from Acme Acres. And that's what starts their adventure. They end up going over this waterfall. They end up running away from this family of opossums who want to eat them, except for this one who's always playing this banjo. And then him and Buster start jamming to the Tiny Toon's themes music. So they escape the opossums. They get to another land that's overrun by these gators. There are these 3 female gators who want to marry Buster. There's the Big Boo, I think is his name. Like the dad comes in and wants to marry them. So now Babs has to rescue him. Then somewhere down the line, they end up on a riverboat and they're putting on a performance on stage. And when the lights come on, they realize the opossums are there, the gators are there, and every other meat-eating animal is there wanting to eat them. So they're being chased That way, there's a minecart scene afterwards after they escape the riverboat and they're being chased by the killer who was in Hampton's family's car. So now he wants to kill bunnies too. And then the movie kind of ends with them going back to Acme Acres because, I don't know, the minecart somehow ends up in Happy World Land or something. And then it goes down into a hole. There's a sign that says plot hole. Because you're like, okay, how are they going to get back? They're nowhere near Acme Acres. But when they go through this plot hole, they end up in Wacky Land, which is attached to Acme Acres. So that's how they get back. So that's the whole Buster and Babs situation. Everyone's favorite animal torching princess is in this movie, Elmira. So the whole time, like, she's just doing crazy shit to Furball, and he eventually runs away from her. So her family takes her to a safari. There's a safari somewhere, and they're in the car, and then we get a funny announcement made.
We hope you are enjoying Wild Safari Zoo. May I repeat so that Warner Brothers won't get sued if anyone really does this. Do not get out of the car.
So this girl gets out of the car, of course. She finds a cheetah. She messes with the cheetah, ends up skinning the cheetah, and takes his fur and starts walking around with it.
Goodness, my Cheeto left me his pajamas. Ooh, looking good, baby.
She ties up other little animals and starts playing school with them.
Look, Mr. Pretty Face Gazelli, that's you. Kiss yourself, kiss yourself, kiss yourself.
Now her scene is pretty long, but we won't see Elmira till like later in the movie. So another character they show is Shirley the Loon, who's another duck, but she's a psychic. So she has like this summer job where she has this booth out near the beach for psychic readings, right? So like one point, Dizzy Devil comes up to her crying, and he's like, it's summertime, and if I spin, I shed, and he'll be naked, right? So Dizzy Devil is like the young version of the Tasmanian Devil, but she gives him some crap like, look, you just gotta be yourself, right? If you want to spin, spin, like, be free. And so whatever she says works because he's like, okay. And so he spins and ends up, of course, naked. So that was Dizzy's big scene. But also what's happening is that Shirley's actually connected to two stories. So there is this rooster kid named Foulmouth, and he's always cursing, right? And of course, you can't curse in the cartoon. So he's always saying like, dag, nabbit, that, but, beep, beep, beep. It's so funny. So he wants to date Shirley. So he's like, Shirley, we gotta go to the movies, right? And she's always blowing him off, but I guess he wore her down because she was like, fine, I'll go to the movies with you. So his ass, he's seen this movie like, I think it's called Skunknophobia. And he's seen this movie like 100 times, but he don't care. And so he goes into the movies and everyone already knows who he is. Like, oh my God, it's this kid again.
Pardon me, gangway. Excuse me, you walking area code. Could you move your out, dead gummit? Excuse me. Ooh, dead gummit. You rude dead gummit. Cheap way to get snacks, though.
Now, one bogus thing that used to always crack me up about this movie, because Pee Wee Herman is featured. There are a lot of celebrities just kind of featured in this movie. Some have speaking parts, some don't. You'll see them in the background.
Oprah, what kind of twee are you?
Well, girlfriend, I'm a weeping willow.
But in this movie theater, I always thought it was so funny that Pee Wee Herman is one of the people sitting in the audience in this theater after his whole arrest for being indecent in a movie theater in Florida. So it's just always kind of funny that, why is Pee Wee Herman there? Like, they had like thousands of people they could have put in that seat, and they put Pee Wee Herman there. That's just me. I always thought that was just funny. I see what you're doing, Warner Brothers. Foulmouth gets really loud, and the audience throws him towards the screen, and he ends up falling into the screen, and then he pisses the actors off in the movie, and they throw him out of the screen and out of the theater. So while all this is happening, Fifi is connected to Shirley's story in a way too. So she talks to Shirley, and she's like, hey, I am in love with this skunk named shit, what the hell was his name? Johnny Pugh. And all she wants is all she wants. She just wants an autograph from Johnny Pugh on a picture that she has. And so Shirley, who again is a psychic, knows exactly where he's staying only because she saw him drive by in the background. She's like, oh, he's at the hotel. And Fifi's like, what? So this whole time, Fifi's trying to get into this hotel to get his autograph, and she's being booted and thrown out and whatever, right? So anyway, when she's about to give up, he just so happens to be walking by. And so she tells him, like, hey, I just want your autograph. I just want your autograph. And he's like, look, babe, like, you're so pushy, but you know what? You could do this. And he just kind of makes her like a servant and just has her like carrying things and doing this. So they end up at the theater, just like Shirley and Foulmouth. They end up going to the movies. And now the whole time, Johnny's been blowing Fifi off with this, getting his autograph. But then this hot older skunk kind of walks by and he falls in love with her, steals Fifi's picture, signs it, and gives it to the other girl. And this sets Fifi off. So she is pissed and she yells at this man and kicks his ass out too. Right after Foulmouth. But then this is when we see Elmira again because he ends up flying into her arms. And now Elmira's like, ooh, a new kitty. So I guess he gets it in the end. Like, that's what you get. Like, you shouldn't have been an asshole, but now you got to deal with Elmira's ass. So anyway, the movie's over. Like I said, it ends with Bugs and Babs going through the plot hole. And they end up back in Acme Acres, and then they realize, like, everyone's going back. They made it back just in time for school. So they're like, damn, we missed the whole summer. And the movie ends with them singing a song in the end. And Hampton brings the killer back into the classroom. I don't know why. But of course, he chases Plucky around. And no one sees this and cares. So that was Tiny Toons, how I spent my vacation. I was going to say summer. It's still cute. Like, I still have my little DVD here. Make sure you see it, if you can see it. So, yeah, I still watch it here and there. I don't care. I'm still a kid at heart. I still watch shit from, like, my childhood. So, there, I said it. But, yeah, it's cute. It has its funny moments. So, that was Tiny Toon Adventures, how I spent my vacation. Although I was going to say summer vacation. Look, you guys, I still have my DVD of it. I didn't have the VHS. I remember I rented it a lot. And then when I saw it on DVD, I'm like, hell, let me go ahead and buy it. So, it's still cute. It's a product of its time. I feel like it's still really funny. I watched it the other day. Just for you. You're welcome. And, I feel like I was still laughing at the same things that I was laughing at before. Especially the rise at Happy World Land. Like, come on now. Happy Go Pukey. The bullet train to heck. Like, you don't want to ride that? Also, too, I'm pretty sure this is the only time you will ever see the Roadrunner get his in the end, right? Because he's always giving shit to Wile E. Coyote. But in this movie, he gets run over by a mail truck. And probably the one and only time that you ever see anything negative happen to the Roadrunner. So there you go. There's something. Yeah, it's still fun. It's cute. What would I give this Tiny Toons movie? I'm going to give it a 3. Why am I giving it a 3? It's still fun. It's still good. It's not awesome. It's not bad. I appreciate it. So it's right in the middle. Right in the middle. Very, very good. Good stuff. All right, you guys. So cheers. I remember playing. Do you guys remember the video game? Actually, I think there was a couple video games. But there was this one main one that was on, I want to say it was Super Nintendo. Yeah, because it wasn't. I don't think it was Nintendo. I think it was Super Nintendo. I remember playing the video game. And what else? There was another movie they came out with. I don't remember what it was. Some kind of special about something. And then I already did the review on the first reboot season of Tiny Toons, where now they're in college. I didn't like it at all. And then, y'all, I didn't even mention this. There is a season 2. I found that by accident. I don't remember no advertising for it, because when the first season came out, they advertised it. And when the second season came out, I think they were just like, no one said anything. And so I don't remember how many episodes there are, but I think I watched half of them and I had to turn it off. I'm like, okay. I didn't ask for the reboot, but I'm not liking this reboot, y'all. So anyway. Ugh. So, all right. So let me know in the comments if you remember Tiny Toons. How I spent my vacation. I remember they used to show this on TV, and I would get so excited, but then I realized they weren't showing the whole movie. They cut it up into like 4 episodes. So I didn't understand why they did that. Anyway, that's that. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next episode. So until then, TTFN.